G'day headbangers and welcome to Dozles Metalworks. Welcome back my fellow metalheads to another edition of Dozles Metalworks. Back to a normal countdown this week, and this time I've decided to go with the year of 2003. Yes, the new millennium. And I was actually trying to toss up between 85, 96. I said I'll see what else I've got with a bigger list, and only really to need to add one extra to this list. So I went, bugger it, I'll go with 2003. So here we go. So we'll start off with number 10, Puppet Master by King Diamond. Literally had to listen to this album for the first time, to be honest. But it's King Diamond, so it wasn't too bad. Standout tracks for me though were The Ritual, The Puppet Master, and Blood to Work. So yeah, that's that one. Moving on to number 9, we have Crucify My Heart by Lullacry. Now you guys may not have heard of these guys. They are a Finnish band. I wouldn't call them symphonic metal by any means. Maybe close to gothic, maybe, or maybe just classic metal. No longer around, if I'm correct. But this album I used to listen to quite a bit back in the day. Crucify My Heart, Lullacry. So you obviously got Don't Touch the Flame at number 1, Crucify My Heart at number 2, and number 3, All Right Tonight. That was a great album. I used to listen to a lot, but then the album after that couldn't get into them, so I lost interest in them. So there you go. That's a bit of a shame there, isn't it? Not. So, yeah. Alright. Number 8, we have Anthems of Rebellion by Arch Enemy. Now this is when Angelo Gosso was still with the band. And this is probably the song that got me into Arch Enemy way back when. We Will Rise. Then we have Leader of the Rats. And then number 3 we have Dehumanization. But yeah, gotta love the old Arch Enemy. Okay, number 7 we have Ashes to Ashes by David Shankle Group. Now David Shankle was a guitarist for Manowar for one album, which was the Triumph of Steel album. And then that was it he did with them, and then he pretty much went solo. Now the annoying thing is on Spotify they have one song, and it's not even from this album. All the other album they've got Hellborn, so it's a bit of annoying to try and listen to them. I can't. But yeah, here's listen to this album a fair whack. Now Ashes to Ashes is my favourite song. Great video clip. In the middle of it you've got a guitar solo, keyboard solo, guitar solo, keyboard solo, guitar solo, keyboard solo, and the musicianship is off the chart. Absolutely freaking amazing. So definitely my favourite song of that. And then Calling All Heroes, more of a ballady, or not really a power ballad song, but a good classic song there. And then Widow's Peak at number 3. So yeah, get into that. Okay, number 6 we have Elements Part 2 by Stratovarius. The cover with this album was done by Derek Riggs, the legend himself, and it's got a male with the elements of wind and earth, so I thought that was really cool. Favourite tracks from that one is I Walk to My Own Song, Alpha and Omega, which is brilliant, and Dreamweaver, which is pretty good as well. So yeah. Next one, at number 5 we have, I can see on my left here, Train of Thought by Dream Theater. Granted, I never really listened to much of this album, even when I first bought it years ago. But favourites for this one, I went through a bit of a struggle though, because there weren't hugely great songs. But As I Am at number 1, Honour Thy Father at number 2, and Endless Sacrifice at number 3. Alright, number 4 we have a classic album by any means, Fallen by Evanescence. Obviously this is the band that, the album that made the band huge. got him popular. You know, they're still popular airplay, radio play, and that as well, which is good. So obviously my favourite is Bring Me to Life, My Immortal, but the original version, or the normal version, which is acoustic all the way through, not the band version, even though I do like the band version as well. And number 3 we have Going Under. So yeah, still love Evanescence. Never seen them live though, but still really good band. Now number 3, we have everyone's favourite Metallica album, not Saint Anger by Metallica. Now I know a lot of people, this album copped a lot of flack because it sounds like Lars set up pots and pans instead of a snare drum, and yeah. But my mate Jake sent me a link once to YouTube where someone had remixed it and made the drums sound normal, and it's like, holy shit, what a freaking great album it would be if it was done like that. But anyway, but obviously number 1 for me is Frantic, great song. Number 2 is Saint Anger, and number 3 Purify. And I even said the drums is kind of raw on the album. The actual album itself is pretty decent, you know, I'd say even better than Load and Reload. And yes, you heard me say that. Deal with it. Okay, number 2, we have Elements Part 1. Again, cover art done by the legend himself, Derek Riggs. This time with the female, with the elements of fire and water. Absolutely fantastic. And we'll go with the honourable mention to start off, which is Fantasia, which is a song they wrote about the movie Neverending Story. I went, wow. Even I liked that movie when I was young. Even watched it a few months ago. Still liked the movie. So yeah, good movie, even though it's an old one. And yeah, hey, if a metal band can write a song about it, you know, it's got to be pretty decent. So yeah. Anyway, so number 1 is the actual song that got me into Stratovarius from day one. Eagle Heart. What an absolute banger of a track, seriously. Then number 2, Souls of a Vagabond. Right, Soul of a Vagabond. Great track as well, great drum fills in it. And then number 3, their ballad or acoustic song, A Drop in the Ocean. Oh, what a masterpiece that song is, an absolute banger of a track. I was actually amazed that Stratovarius had a Metallica, but this whole album, Elements Part 1, is one of the best metal albums I'll ever hear. So yeah, take that. And of course number 1, my bunch of Rotund pineapples, we have Dance of Death by Iron Maiden. Of course you knew Iron Maiden was going to be there for me. It's me, what the hell. Now the only issue I have with this album is the cover. Eddie's on the cover, but they tried to do whole CGI with it, and someone screwed the pooch, dropped the ball, had a Barry, had a shocker, whatever you want to say. And yeah, could have done better. But anyway, look, the whole album is a freaking banger to me. It's pretty good. But I've actually got 4 standout tracks for this. Passchendaele, of course. God, that song's a banger. New Frontier. Well, this one will always get a big list thing for me, is because Nico had a hand in writing it. Nico, you goddamn legend. 3, Dance of Death, because it's like a classic track. And number 4, Journeyman. Because if you ever hear one of the most lightest song Maiden have ever done, listen to Journeyman, because it's all acoustic guitars and stuff. So yeah, definitely worth it. So yeah, anyway, my fellow metalheads, that is the year of 2003. And like I said, if you get a chance, listen to Elements Part 1. Part 2 is not too bad, but Part 1, definitely absolute banger of an album. So definitely have a listen to it. And until next time, wash on.